What's up, YouTube? I'm going to blast through a collection of Greenlight classic Mustangs. Starting with this from 2017 Holiday Ornaments, which I did find the new from Series 2 from 2018, the 68 Plymouth. My last video, I got lucky today at Toys R Us and found that. It's a nice one. I dig it. Here's one that you don't see too often. From Greenlight, the 1970 Ford Mustang. This did make an appearance in last year's Holiday Ornaments. This release is from Greenlight County Roads 5. And I'm not the biggest fan of this casting. Mainly because of that plastic top. Otherwise, I think it looks good. Some of these cars look really good. I'm not a Mustang fan, but some of these are just too nice not to share. There's from Bullet. Really nice detail on some of these. And I counted up the toolings. I think they have, it's 9 or 10 different toolings that they use for these classic Mustangs. This one here being my least favorite, and I hate the fact that Greenlight puts this out when it's not even their tool. It's an awesome, it's a car with awesome potential, but they use the Shelby Collectibles tool, which is, I think, a far inferior tool. Just doesn't look right to me at all. So if they did this car, which is, I think, a 68, yeah, it's a 68 GT500, and this one's a 67, which is probably why they don't do it. But if they would do that car on this tool, then I would totally be on board with it. I don't like Shelby Collectibles toolings. Some of them look good. Some of the other cars, like the Daytona Coupe and the Cobra, and there might be a couple of the Mustangs that I think look good, but for the most part, I'm just not a fan of their toolings. But this Greenlight Mustang right here is dope. I'm not a big fan of convertibles in this scale. This one looks really good, though. All right, Shelby GT500. This is one of the very first Greenlight cars I ever had. This is from Greenlight Muscle. I don't remember what series it was, but this is the series that was out when I started collecting back in, I think it was 2014. Looks awesome in this. It's like a cherry red. And it's the only, like, it's one of the only Greenlight cars that I have in this cherry red color. I don't have many. I have a 69 Dodge Charger. I think I have a Charger Daytona. I have a few, but not many. And then this one is sick. This is from Barrett-Jackson Series 1. So in this one, you've got a two-tone interior. Being that this is Barrett-Jackson's, they step up the game a little bit with the detail. You can see the wheels have a ton of detail. It's just a sick car. I dig it. Great lines. Great stance. As nice as the Auto World Mustang tooling, in my opinion. Let's see. Here's another one. I think this is a different Yeah, this is a different tooling. This is from Greenlight Muscle. I don't remember which release. I don't really keep track of which ones. The only reason I knew the orange one from Series 5 is just because of how old it is, and I remember buying that Series 5 set not that long ago. This one I remember the release. This is one of the few projects in progress style of cars from Greenlight. I don't think they did a good job on it. I shouldn't say that. They did an okay job, but I think what I don't like about it, you know, I know it's just like body work and stuff, but the primer should be flat. And once they got the paint on, they clear coated the whole thing, so it looks kind of silly to me. But it's cool to have something like this from Greenlight because they haven't done a whole ton of it. And this is from the Hollywood 10 pack. The Hollywood 10 pack has one of the very few Greenlight toolings that I do not collect, and if I ever get one, I will happily trade it away or give it away. And that is the '69 Chevy Camaro. Just not a fan of it. A lot, in large part because it's a convertible. But they're bringing out, I think, a new '69 tooling. That tooling was used in the not Auto World, but the Motor World series. This one here's from Hollywood, I think Series 8. I could be wrong. But from Supernatural. Really dope car. Looks good in black. Any car looks good in black, though. Okay, this one here. Sucks. I hate it. I don't remember if this was from Hollywood or Hollywood Hitch and Tow. From Gone in 60 Seconds. This is Eleanor. I cannot stand it. And I don't like it because it is a Shelby Collectibles tooling and it's just so off. Nothing lines up, nothing matches up. Opening doors on a 64 scale car, which I'm not a fan of. Here's a big reason why. Look at this door. Why does it? It's like a Lambo door. I just don't like it. I think it's goofy looking. But they do have another tooling that Greenlight also uses. And while I don't love this tooling, I like it a lot better than that one. I really just wish Greenlight would do their own. But this looks much better. It's still a Shelby Collectibles tooling, but you don't have the articulation of the doors. You do have it for the hood. There's that Eleanor front end. So to me, this one looks much better. Still not a big fan of it, though. Okay. Well, these next three are good ones. It's a tooling that I do like, the 67. Two of these three came out in dioramas, starting with this one. This came out not that long ago in the Motorcraft diorama. This is a nice tooling. It's got a nice stance. The proportions are really good. It has nice graphics, nice racing detail. Missing headlights as a race car would. It's a nice wheel choice. And that's just a darn good looking car. A lot of nice detail. The next one here was shown recently, just the other night actually, from a diorama I just found. This is from the Aspen Ski Lodge. And this is the Ski Country Special, which is based off of an actual Mustang that it was something that Ford did and marketed, where you have the ski rack on the trunk. I totally dig this. So hopefully we'll see more of this. Hopefully they'll retool that rack with a surfboard too. But yeah, I dig that car. There's so many things about it that are just on point. Kind of the same thing with this one. This one came out quite a while ago. Same tooling. This is a Hollywood release. I like this one as much as the other one, even though it's more of a kind of a rusty barn find. From Hollywood, Walking Dead, you've got the supplies on the hood. This is where, I think it was Carol's daughter, if I remember correctly. They left that for her just in case she made it back to the street, which she never did. Awesome car though. That looks so good right there. I don't know if it's the color or what it is, but that is a fantastic angle on that car. And I think this other angle, if I remember correctly, I think this angle's pretty on point too. Yeah, that is spot on. Love it. Alright, working our way through. This is a cool Greenlight muscle Hertz Mustang. Not Hearst. Hearst is pretty big in automotive, but this is a Hertz Shelby GT 350. So Hertz rent-a-cars back in the late 60s, you could go to them and rent one of these. So needless to say, they were pretty beat to hell because people would rent them and drive the crap out of them. But if you get a Hertz VIN number, they are valuable. They do bring more of a premium than just an average Mustang. So interesting green and gold colorway there. One of my favorites of all of these, this car, I've loved it since the day they brought it out. There's just something about this car that looks so killer. This is from Gas Monkey, 69 Boss. Of all these Mustangs, this is the only one that I have the chase. Black doesn't show up very well on the camera here, but this car is nice. This is a very nice tooling. A lot of these are, but they've done some really nice Mustangs with this tool, including this one and including a couple that are coming up. In fact, I'll leave that one out because this one here is the same tool. This one just came out in Mecum Series 1. Same tool, but you can see the differences with this one being a custom. You can see there the front end of the car with the front bumper. It's much more noticeable on the back of the car. All a customization there. So that's your custom Ford Mustang. This is more of your stock Ford Mustang. Both are sick though. Alright, got a few more. Getting into some pretty hard to find ones here after this one. This is brand new from Hollywood. It's John Wick, or John Wick Series 2 maybe. It's a nice car, nice tooling. They totally jacked up these wheels though. The wheels on this side are awful. They weren't centered when they were stamped. So I don't know what's going on with that. It sucks because it ruins the car. And it would otherwise be a really nice car. The back end looks great. The detail looks great. It's just the wheels. But, you know, from time to time, that happens. If I ever come across another one for cheap, I'll probably pick it up and use that as a tire donor. Okay, another Greenlight muscle release with that that Boss tooling. I have the Ertl American Muscle of this same car, same color and everything. As nice as the Ertl is, the Greenlight's nicer. So I might do a video on those two at some point when I'm low on content, because it is a really good side-by-side comparison of two really nice detailed cars. So anyways, this tooling for the 69 is used on the Boss and the Mach 1. And then only a couple more here. This one here is Barrett-Jackson Series 1. So kind of like the Mecum, the orange one. This one here, with those auction cars, you do get a higher level of detail. So this is Barrett-Jackson Series 1, and it looks just stunning, the amount of detail. Where's my other auction car? There it is. Yeah, excellent color. These are based on actual cars that sold at auction. It's pretty dope. And then, of course, this one everybody knows about. This was a really hot car when it came out. One of the first Greenlight Golf releases when they first acquired the licensing. The green machine to this is a beautiful green machine. I've had a few of them. It's one of the nicer green machines I think they've put out. It's just a really nice livery on this car. And it's a nice casting to start with, so when you combine a nice tooling with a nice deco, you really do get, I think, a pretty exceptional car in this. A lot of fine detail in this too. So this is also from Greenlight Muscle. Most of these are probably from Muscle. There are a few that are from Hollywood. This one's cool too, because I don't know if you can see it, but both the front and rear license plates are let's see if I can help with this. Golf. So anyways, that's the Golf. And then the last two. This one here is pretty dope, pretty tough one to find. It is the Jimbo's Pure Oil Go Go Gone. This is from Greenlight. What was it called? I can't even remember the series now. It's late. I'm tired. Road Racers? Is that what it was called? This one's pretty sweet, but I think this next one is a lot nicer. This next one is actually quite possibly my favorite of all of these, because it's back. It was produced at a time where the quality control at Greenlight was just so on point. That's the first reason. The second reason is it's that Boss, that 69 Boss tooling that I really like. And the third reason is just the overall execution. The amount of detail in the car, the wheels and tires that were chosen are wheels you don't see from Greenlight very often. So let me stop talking about it here. I'll just show you guys. So many things right with this car. It's a popular car too. A lot of guys that don't really collect Greenlight will go after this car, or people that casually collect Greenlight. For me, I go after Greenlight stuff pretty aggressively, so I think I'm somewhere around 700 castings with a couple of cases on order right now. Gonna have a couple of more on order. Tokyo Torque 2 was just announced. There's going to be 3 two-door 510 Bluebirds. One of them is a Brie, so that's going to be totally sick. The new 2017 Ford GTs are out, so I'll be grabbing a case of that. The new Hollywood series just hit today, and there's just so much more stuff coming out. New toolings. Greenlight is just smashing it right now. I don't know how any diecast collector out there could be avoiding Greenlight with the amount of stuff that they're putting out and the amount of nice stuff that they're putting out. Anyways, this car is dope. It is so sick. I'll show you a couple more parts of the car here. The back end there. The lighting sucks. I apologize. Let's see if I can maybe help with that without saturating it. The detail is just so awesome. And the quality control back when this car came out was so on point. Check out the headlight. Got the number in the headlight. So pretty awesome, I would say. And then basically if I can do this without covering up the microphone. Basically, is what you have. Hang on just a second, guys. Get a grip on the camera here. So there you go. Focus. "24 different Greenlight classic Mustangs. Some awesome. Some awful. And then this doesn't count the 11 or 12 Fox bodies and probably another 5 or 10 of the modern Mustangs. So I probably have around 45 or 50 Greenlight Mustangs. They make up a good chunk of my collection, which is odd because I'm not a Mustang fan at all. These have just found their way into my collection through random collecting. But there's a few Greenlight castings like that. The Chevy C10, the Ford Bronco, I have a ton of those. I have a ton of the Crown Vics. because there are some castings where I'll buy every single one. What's weird about the old Mustangs is, you know, these are not toolings that I collect. But when they put one out and it looks that nice, or that nice, or that nice. See, that one I could have lived without. I think I got that in a hitch and tow, though. But, yeah. Sometimes I have a hard time passing up cars. Anyways, thanks for checking out the video. You guys have a good weekend. I will holler at the next one. Ugly Eleanor Rigby.